After a week in Coyhaique, it was time to continue west. Our next stop was Puerto Aysén. What started as a few quiet days of editing turned into a lucky hitchhiking ride, a spontaneous Chilean asado, and a short trip into a completely different side of Patagonia, greener, denser, and almost tropical. So we're on the go again. I just measured the backpack. It's 30 kilos. But we're on the go again. And we're going to Puerto Aysén. We're gonna hitchhike there. The last months, I have to say hitchhiking is a lot of fun. I'm new to this. This was the first time here. But I love it. The freedom you get. So we're going to Puerto Aysén. Puyuhuapi. We will go to Puyuhuapi, but first we're going to Aysen. First stop for today is Puerto Aysén, and we will stay there for a little bit. And Puyuhuapi is after first Aysen. The goal for today was Puerto Aysén. I walked around half an hour out of town before finding a good place to hitchhike, and luckily I didn't have to wait very long. About 30 minutes later somebody stopped. After the long travel roads of the previous weeks, this part of the journey felt surprisingly easy. Not long after, I arrived in Puerto Aysén. So that was fast. I waited around 30 minutes, not longer. And now we're in Puerto Aysén. Still have to walk a little bit to the camping, but we're almost there. So, very good start. And I learned for the last month it rained almost every single day. So we have a little bit of puddles everywhere. I walked to my campsite and started settling in. There I met a really friendly Chilean couple who were also camping here. They invited me to eat with them that evening, so later we shared some wine and had an asado together. We're at the camping. It's raining, like always here. And we had to walk quite a bit out of town, because there's not many camping spaces here. But this one seems nice, so we're staying here for 2 days. Let's just say it's good that we're already in the camping.
Tenemos esta así que... Chorizo de campo. Oh, this knife sucks.
Take mine?
No, I'm okay. Sí, po.
Unfortunately, they had to leave again the next morning. The next day was much quieter. I spent most of the day editing and catching up on work. So this is the camping where we are. Today is not going to be much to do except sort some data because my hard drives are full. So sorting data, editing some pictures is the main goal for today. Maybe go to the river later. Later I walked across the river to the large supermarket on the other side of the town. Alright, just a bit of daily life, daily normal life. I'm going to Unimarket buying some food today. Let's see what we do tomorrow. Today is just a organization chill day. Just finished with Unimarket, filming inside is not allowed. And look at how beautiful the view over the mountains is here. In the evening, Puerto Aysén gave me a beautiful sunset, and after a little more editing I called it a day. By the way, I'm allowed to stay kind of inside. Because of the wind and cold here, so this is the campsite. Good afternoon. We have a beautiful sunny day, a really clear view over the mountains around us, and we are trying to get to a waterfall today. 3 hours by walking, but there's a road where a lot of cars drive, so I think we're gonna hitchhike a bit and then hike to the waterfall. The next morning I finally had another small adventure planned. There was a nature park outside of Puerto Aysén with a waterfall I wanted to visit. So I started walking out of town and tried hitchhiking again. So we're hitchhiking from here now? Maybe, it's possible, I think so. It's not too far. We will see how the day goes. Luckily, I found a ride pretty quickly. The driver dropped me off at the junction near the park, and from there I still had around 4 kilometers to walk. First hitchhike brought us all the way to the Salto crossing and this small village here, and now we're going into the park here, and there's the Cascada and the Salto inside, somewhere around 3.8 kilometers. The walk itself was already worth it. The landscape here felt completely different from the dry exposed mountains further south. Everything was greener, denser and much more humid. Along the way I spotted several picaflors, hummingbirds. Eventually I reached the entrance, paid the fee and started following the trail. Okay, this should be the right trail, but I'm quite confused why you take 2 hours for 2000 meters. But we will see. So this should be the trail. And let's go. Should be quite good for walking because it's actually a trail and not the usual backcountry Patagonia caminos. It wasn't a long hike, but the forest immediately felt different. I don't know if I already talked about it, but as we're progressing further up north, the forest is changing, and here, like kind of like at Coyhaique, I noticed it was kind of the first time that the forest has changed. So we don't have Langer, we have these trees here, and corn, I don't know what it's called in English. And the whole vegetation looks a lot more humid. So we have actually something resembling a jungle without the jungle tropic zone. So it's very interesting how everything changes here. Also a big difference here. The forest is way thicker than it used to be. So trekking outside of paths here will prove quite difficult. But very interesting. It's really more jungle-like here. So as I said, the nature is changing, and this is not bamboo. I will put up the name somewhere here maybe. So this is not bamboo, this is a different kind of vegetation. But this doesn't look like Patagonia. It's so interesting how much is changing here just by going a few 100 kilometers away from the last position. We have thick vines here, climbing across the trees like you would have in a jungle. Vines everywhere. Pretty amazing. And not long after, I reached a waterfall, surrounded by thick green vegetation. It looked almost tropical. What a beautiful place, but now we have to go back to still have to hitchhike. And it's so amazing. It looks like a jungle, like a tropical hot jungle, but we're still in Patagonia. Really amazing. If you have time, if you have Puerto Aysén, go here. I think this is a really nice spot. I stayed here for a while, just enjoying the water and the forest. From the waterfall, I continued further through the forest toward a nearby lake. So we're finished, but there's another trail, I think this one. And it's going to the lago, to the lake here, so I think we're going to check the buses work. There I stopped for a while, ate something and enjoyed the quiet before starting the walk back. After returning through the park entrance, I started hitchhiking back toward Puerto Aysén. Trying to get back to Aysen. And once again I got lucky. It didn't take long before somebody stopped and brought me back toward town. Back at camp, forgot to film. It's getting later. I'm gonna make some food and then head to bed. April 5th was another editing day. Nothing particularly exciting happened. I mostly stayed at the campsite and worked on my videos. The following day was much the same. I spent some more time editing, but I also started packing and organizing my equipment again. Because tomorrow it would be time to leave Puerto Aysén. Puerto Aysén had been a quieter stop. A few days to edit, rest and slow things down, with one beautiful trip into the forest in between. But on April 7th, the backpack would be back on, and I would return to the road once again. So see you in the next video when we continue further north.